Welcome back to WestFugee, the channel exploring what it's actually like to move and live in Cambodia.
Cambodia is a country that seems to be on the move, and for those in the West looking to escape, it's showing up on the radar more and more. And the longer I'm here, the more I realize if I want to see where Cambodia is going, you have to look at where it's been.
Transition. The path of a developing country is never a straight line. And in Cambodia's case, the last 50 years aren't just turbulent, they're almost impossible to fully grasp. Collapse, recovery, and everything else in between. The collapse. Between 1975 and 1979, Cambodia went through what was essentially a complete reset. Under Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge, the country was plunged into what can only be described as a total societal collapse. This didn't happen overnight. Years of civil war involving US-backed government forces, communist insurgents, and the wider spillover from the Vietnam War left the country deeply fractured. Norodom Sihanouk, still respected in rural areas, aligned with the Khmer Rouge as a figurehead. But behind the scenes, it was Pol Pot shaping the movement and its brutal ideology. Phnom Penh evacuation. In 1975, when the Khmer Rouge entered Phnom Penh, residents were told the city would be bombed by American planes, that leaving would only be temporary. But it wasn't. Millions were forced into the countryside, into labor camps, starvation, and something far worse. The nightmare lasted until 1979, when Vietnam invaded and overthrew the Khmer Rouge. That ended the genocide, but also began a decade of Vietnamese occupation. Whether it was a liberation depends on who you ask. Steps forward and backwards. By the 1990s, Cambodia cautiously re-entered the global market. GDP grew by 4 to 6%, and by the 2000s, dollarization helped stabilize the currency. Garment exports, tourism, particularly Siem Reap and the temples, drew global attention. Investment continued. China's Belt and Road Initiative, a construction boom, and a growing urban middle class brought optimism, with economic growth hitting 7 to 8%. The global pandemic was a major setback, stalling both economic and spiritual recovery. Cambodia continued to heal collectively, while confidence and energy slowly returned. These strides are real, but tenuous. The road ahead. I feel the energy of Phnom Penh every day, much more than I felt in Canada. Streets, avenues, alleyways, alive with commerce. Everyone working, and working hard. Skyscrapers rise in the skyline, cranes hoisting material for this continuous growth. These are all healthy symptoms of a nation finding its place in the world. But what is the cost? Cambodia has become attractive for foreign investment. But does that compromise the country further down the road? Cambodia isn't self-sufficient for energy. And yet Canada isn't either, thanks to the Liberal Party's boycott of much-needed energy projects. Dependence on energy from neighboring Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand fills the gaps that hydroelectric dams along the Mekong provide. But with prosperity comes innovation, and innovation builds longevity. The kingdom's soul. Economics aside, it's the people who define a nation. I've lived here just 4 months, but I'm struck by the character of the Khmer. Friendly, open, and warm. Even after enduring the horrors inflicted by the Khmer Rouge regime. Visiting the Genocide Museum in Phnom Penh, seeing the torture rooms, the implements, the blood-stained tiles, it's hard to comprehend. The past shapes the present. To forget the unforgettable is unforgiving. To move forward requires balance, determination, and necessity. This explains the massive peace marches during the border conflict with Thailand. External forces can still haunt a nation, and Cambodia's people, those I know and those who I haven't met yet, have all been touched by this history. I know one person who lost 2 brothers to the Khmer Rouge, and that reality is impossible to ignore.
Cambodia's past is tragic, but its future is optimistic. Cambodia is an easy country to fall in love with. It's the ultimate underdog, itching for a win that benefits everyone. But for those of us back home, it acts as a cautionary tale. Many of us say, that could never happen here. And that sort of naivete is dangerous. And history has shown us otherwise. Thanks for tuning in. WestFugee out.